Thanks for staying with us here on Sunrise. It's 24 degrees Celsius here in Kingston, 26 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay. That means it's going to be a pretty toasty day. How was it for you? You slept with the fan and AC and everything going?
It continues to be toasty.
It has been toasty.
I've surrendered.
I've surrendered.
Slowly reach
It's
for
gonna be
the
that
remote.
kind of a summer.
Turn on. Surrendered.
That's the topic of conversation, but that is not, of course, necessarily the headline. Good morning to TK, who has the headline.
Great morning.
Good
morning.
morning,
You guys are
Tex.
looking sharp this morning.
Thank you very much.
For you. Have a little buzz, you know?
Yeah, all right.
All right, let's jump into what's been happening in the headlines. Iranian President and Minister of Foreign Affairs died in helicopter crash. Iran's President Ibrahim Raisi is believed dead after no survivors were found at the crash site of the helicopter carrying him, according to Iranian state news channel IRNN. The crash comes at a fraught moment in the Middle East, with war raging in Gaza and weeks after Iran launched a drone and missile attack on Israel in response to a deadly strike on its diplomatic compound in Damascus. Raisi became president in a historically uncompetitive election in 2021. Previously the Chief Justice, he has overseen a period of intensified repression of dissent in a nation convulsed by youth-led protests against clerical rule. Rescuers are contending with dense fog and extreme cold in the remote mountainous area they were traveling. 9 people were on board the helicopter, including the country's foreign minister.
I mean, this is a major international story
Yes.
that we are continuing to track, of course. Locally, you can stay tuned to CVM for updates on this matter. But I mean, this is very significant in terms of, not just in terms of the internal dynamics of Iran, but in the Middle Eastern politics in general. We were discussing it earlier this morning, you know, about the hardline positions that he has taken internally, but also his position on Israel versus Palestine that he just declared. And so now, as a key ally of one side is gone, what kind of a vacuum does that create in the space?
And it does pose question marks. I mean, there are massive questions that are happening surrounding this. I mean, one, if the weather conditions were as such, why would the helicopter have even taken off? And then 2, there are people who are legitimately saying, is this even a weather scenario? Like, is this more than we are believed, or more than is being reported at the moment? Obviously, investigations will have to continue, but there are a lot of people that are giving this a side eye.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. And I mean, the truth is that, I mean, there are persons I've seen who are making suggestions, casting aspersions in the direction of one particular Middle Eastern nation that I won't call a name. But I mean, you could just as easily cast aspersions in the same way internally within the very strong hardline politics of the Middle East in terms of the situation. Iran, as you said in the lead-in, that there is a lot of protesting and contention within the nation. The younger generation is not necessarily inclined to accept the nation being led by clerics as it is. It's a completely different, I mean, the Middle East is a fascinating space to study in terms of the fragile state of governance, and I'm going to say democracy, the fragile state of governance in that part of the world.
And especially observing it from a lens outside, where you're in a democratic environment.
From the Western world.
From the Western perspective, it's
interesting. It is. But as you said, we will continue to track it and see how it affects things, because we're sure it will. We're sure it will. So let's get local now. Bring it back to Jamaica a little bit. 100 new justices of the peace for St. Andrew in a significant event held at the Caribbean Military Academy within the Jamaica Defence Forces Up Park Camp. Over 100 individuals took the oath of office as Justices of the Peace for St. Andrew on Saturday. The ceremony marked a pivotal moment in the ongoing efforts to bolster the judicial system and community leadership in Jamaica. The ceremony, conducted by the Jamaica Defence Force, witnessed over 50 new Justices of the Peace taking their oath of office. The event was attended by dignitaries, family members, and well-wishers, celebrating the dedication of these individuals to uphold justice and integrity within the community. The newly commissioned Justices of the Peace were addressed by the Honorable Delroy Chuck, Minister of Justice, and in his remarks, Minister Chuck emphasized the critical role that these individuals will play in their communities. He charged them also with the responsibility to uphold the highest standards of integrity and impartiality in their duties, and they're expected to act as vital links between the community and the judicial system, providing accessible justice and supporting the rule of law.
Indeed.
You know what's really interesting about this, and I never thought about it. One of the things I really like and respect here at CVM is how youthful and young a lot of our team members are, right? And in speaking about the show, in our little pre-production banter, one of them said to me, they were talking to their peer, and they're just like, who amongst us is going to become a Justice of the Peace? So who is going to validate our documents, because the Justices of the Peace are seemingly older, more mature, and moving on in their lives. And they're just like, wait a minute, but who's going to sign our documents if nobody's interested? But here is a new cohort coming through.
And that is what I like. I was thinking the same thing. The fact that we're seeing younger people being involved and getting involved and becoming Justices of the Peace, because this is what we need. I mean, gone are the days, or ought to be gone are the days, when you think of the community JP and it's a very old person sitting on their veranda notarizing a document. I mean, I'm quite pleased. I saw Deputy Commissioner of Police Clifford Blake on the stage as one of them. So even different people from different walks of life. So
Absolutely.
like
Absolutely.
Okay, I have a quick question though. What about those who say we need to do away with the whole Justice of the Peace system?
Rubbish.
Oh, well then, great. What's next headline, TK?
Well then. Rubbish, why? Why would you say that?
Because, again, I think that sentiment tends to come from people, a particular generation of people who everything that they cannot understand is a scam. It's a scam. And so, like, everything needs to be done away with because you don't I mean, for instance, in the United States of America, you still have notary publics.
Yes.
And it is an important function.
Yeah.
And there, I mean, it's a part of the democratic process that someone among you has gone through a process to say, yes, I can vouch for that person.
Yeah.
It is very, very simple, but very important in a society.
There we go.
Yeah.
See? Now I understand. All right, what's next? Public service announcement, missing person report for Alvin Marshall, 75 years old. Alvin Marshall, he's a 75-year-old resident of Independence City, Portmore, has been reported missing since May 11. Marshall was last seen at his residence wearing a white merino and khaki shorts. Concerns have grown for Marshall's well-being as his whereabouts remain unknown. His family is urging anyone with information about his disappearance to come forward. They can be contacted at 876-412-8911 or 876-319 is that 4526. Alternatively, individuals can reach out to the Caymanas Portmore Police Station. Efforts are underway by local authorities and concerned citizens to locate Marshall and ensure his safe return home. Any information, no matter how small, is greatly appreciated in aiding the search efforts. And there will be a major search tomorrow, Sunday, May 19th, 2024, with police between the hours 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Assembly point is at the 10th City Seventh-day Adventist Church in Portmore at 1:30 p.m.
Well,
we're asking that everyone wears a white top with preferred bottoms if they're coming.
That search effort would have happened
it was yesterday.
It was definitely yesterday. Yes, so it happened yesterday.
All right. Well, viewers, don't miss the live broadcast of the T20 between South Africa and the West Indies on May 23, 25, and 26. It will be aired on CVM at 2 p.m. this week exclusively. So check that out, definitely.
I have to tell you guys a story. So
Tell
last
us.
night, I'm coming back to Jamaica and all the Proteas are on my flight, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, as you're boarding the plane, sometimes you slow down and you're in the... So I look over and I see the shirt or whatever. So I said to Izzy, Izzy, look at the flag. What flag is that? And she said, oh, South Africa. So I said, yeah. I said, these are the Proteas. And so the guy saw when I did that, you know, and he looked at me. So I said, right now, Izzy, these are the enemy. And he goes, no, give us a chance. He said, absolutely not. So we're coming for the Proteas. We're coming for them.
All right.
Cricket, lovely cricket. Then it's his all time of year, you know.
Oh, I love it.
Of course I'm going to watch it. You know that.
Man. George Head, let's stand it is. All right. It's the final week of the Sunrisers Challenge, and we are really putting our community to the test. How well do you know Sunrise? Are you, of course, an OG Sunriser, or you just come? Either way, this Friday, we are playing 2 truths and a lie to see who really knows Sunrise. So if you can give us the correct answer, then $25,000 cash will be yours. But you've got to be a part of the Sunrisers community. Go to our social media pages, click the link in our bio. And if you are not on the other social media apps, you probably definitely have WhatsApp, 876-833-0897. Send us a message, and you can still get in on the action.
All right, that's it for the headlines. When we return, it's time to jump on a flight. I just think I just did that. Well, we're going to do it
Jump
again.
on another one.
It's time for Diaspora Link Up.
Right
More
back.
Sunrise after the break.
No more